Two people, same degree, same job, same salary, down to the last dollar. At 60, one of them has $645,000. The other has less than half of that. They didn't earn different amounts. They didn't pick different stocks. One wasn't smarter or luckier. The only difference between them is a date on a calendar. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why that date is worth $360,000 and why the most expensive word in money is later. Let's look at the numbers. Meet Maya and Dev. Both invest $300 a month. Both earn the same average return, 8% a year, roughly what broad stock markets have returned over long periods before inflation. Both stop at 60 and never touch the money in between. Maya starts at 25. Dev starts at 35. That's it. That is the entire difference between them. Now here's the part that breaks people's intuition. Those 10 extra years cost Maya just $36,000 in deposits. $300 a month for 120 months. But at 60, she doesn't end up $36,000 ahead. She ends up $360,000 ahead. 10 times what she put in. Where did the other $324,000 come from? Not from her salary. From something her money was doing while she slept. Here's compound interest in one sentence. Your money earns money. And then that money earns money too. Year 1, Maya's investments grow a little. Year 2, she earns returns not just on what she deposited, but on last year's growth as well. Every year, the base gets bigger. And every year, the growth on that base gets bigger too. There's a mental shortcut for this, called the rule of 72. Divide 72 by your annual return, and you get roughly how many years your money takes to double. At 8%, that's about every 9 years. So $10,000 becomes 20. 20 becomes 40. 40 becomes 80. Same 9 years each time. But look at what each doubling is worth. The first one made you $10,000. The third one made you $40,000 for doing nothing differently. And that's the key insight. Compounding is backloaded. The biggest doublings, the ones worth the most money, all happen at the end. Which means the real question isn't how much you invest. It's how many doublings you leave yourself time for. This is what Maya's money actually looks like over 35 years. And notice something uncomfortable. For the first 10 years, it's boring. Painfully boring. She invests $36,000 and has maybe $55,000 to show for it. At this point, most people conclude it isn't working. But the curve isn't flat. It's loading. By year 20, growth outruns her deposits. By year 30, her portfolio earns more in a single year than she deposits in that year. Her money now out-earns her contributions. Now overlay Dev. His curve is the same shape, just shifted 10 years to the right. And because compounding is backloaded, the years he lost weren't the cheap flat years at the start. Effectively, he gave up the steepest, most valuable years at the end. His last doubling never happens. That's the cost of waiting. Not the deposits you skipped, the doubling you deleted. So if the math is this brutal, why does almost everyone start late? 3 reasons. And they're psychological, not financial. First, I'll start when I earn more. The problem is, spending rises to meet income. The person who can invest on $40,000 a year usually can't invest on 80. Not because they're weak, because lifestyle inflation is silent. There is no future version of you with conveniently spare money. Second, I'm waiting for the right time. Markets always look uncertain. They looked uncertain 10 years ago, and people who invested anyway did fine, because they bought time in the market, not timing. Waiting for certainty just converts you into Dev. Third, and this is the big one, early compounding feels pointless. Your first year of investing might earn you a few $100s. Your brain compares that to your salary and says, why bother? Because your brain judges the flat part of the curve. It cannot see the bend coming. The single biggest financial advantage you can have is acting on math your instincts don't believe yet. So what does starting actually look like? For most people, 3 unglamorous moves. 1. Automate it. A fixed transfer, the day after payday, into an investment account. If saving requires a monthly decision, you'll lose that negotiation with yourself eventually. Automation removes the decision. 2. Keep it boring and diversified. The math in this video assumed broad market returns, the kind historically delivered by low-cost index funds that hold hundreds of companies at once. Not picking winners, owning the whole market, cheaply. And cheaply matters more than you'd think, because fees compound too. Against you. A 1% annual fee sounds like nothing. On Maya's 35-year plan, it quietly removes roughly $140,000. When you see a fee, don't ask what it cost this year. Ask what it cost your final doubling. 3. Ignore it. The account is not entertainment. Check it a few times a year. The strategy only fails if you interrupt it. Now, the objections. Starting with the fair one. I don't have $300 a month. Then use 50. The ratios don't change. 50 a month from 25 still roughly doubles the result of 50 a month from 35. The habit is the asset. The amount can grow later. And yes, 50 a month feels pointless. That feeling is the flat part of the curve talking. You've already seen what it's hiding. What if the market crashes? It will. Several times, probably. On a 35-year horizon, crashes are features of the ride, not the end of it. Historically, every crash so far has been temporary. And for someone still buying every month, lower prices meant buying more shares cheaply. Crashes hurt the person who quits, not the person who continues. I'm already 40. Is it too late? No. The math isn't kind, but it isn't finished either. $300 a month from 40 still builds roughly $170,000 by 60. And the alternative to starting late isn't starting on time. It's not starting at all. So, the whole video in 4 lines. Compounding means your money earns money, and that money earns money. It's backloaded. The biggest gains come from the final doublings. Every year you wait deletes your most valuable year, not your cheapest. And the version of this that works is boring, automatic, diversified, low fee, and left alone. Maya and Dev made the same decision. She just made it earlier. 10 years. 1 calendar page. Worth $360,000. Quick reminder. This is education, not financial advice. The numbers assume an average 8% return, and real life arrives bumpier than a smooth curve. If you want the next step, what those boring, diversified index funds actually are, and how they work, that's the next video. Subscribe so you don't lose the thread. And until then, play the long game.